Hello. First of all, I hope you can all. Can anybody here not understand English? Does everyone?
Kdo nerozumí? To je jenom 10 minut, tak už žijete. Kdo teda nerozumí anglicky? To je jako.
I actually understand Czech pretty well. I've been living here for 5 years, but I still don't really feel confident to talk in Czech in front of you all. But if you have any questions in Czech, it's no problem.
Pro někoho, já se když tak vstoupnu tamhle, nejsem sice profíka, když tak jsem schopná šuškat do uša, tak bych chtěl tak si dorazit.
So, any questions? Ask in Czech. If I can't understand, then Jan will help. I'm just going to talk quickly about a system we developed called CourseDirector. I spoke to Jan about a year ago about this system, and Jan asked me to come and speak, but I've actually been travelling so much that we've actually sold the company now, but I'm still coming to talk about it, even though I've got nothing to do with it. So we developed this system, so if anybody wants any advice on developing some education software integrating with Google, I can help. And also any information about how to sell your company and what not to do, I can definitely tell you more selling your company. I developed CourseDirector. There was actually 3 of us involved. We developed it in Prague. One guy's here, Ali, the guy in black. A lot of it we developed here in the hub. And what we did is we decided to make a learning management system, which you might have heard of the phrase LMS, Learning Management System. Sometimes called a VLE, a virtual learning environment. You probably know Moodle is the most famous open source learning management system. There's also Blackboard, Fronter, and thousands of different ones. We decided to make a system that completely integrated with Google Apps, because I think most of you know Google give Google Apps for free to schools and universities, and it's really popular. I mean, I think in the Czech Republic it's something like 40% of schools are using Google Apps, and most universities are using it. Not in every faculty, but most universities. It's completely free. They charge businesses $50 per person per year, but they give it free for schools. They want to suck the schools in, and so people start using it afterwards. But I don't work for Google. So we developed this system, and what we decided to do was to keep a native Google experience, so that what a learning management system does is it creates a system to put all your courses online. So if you're a teacher in a secondary school, you create a course site where you put all the coursework, you put any required reading, you put assignments, you can create online tests, you can also do the grading, you can do the attendance, report cards. And what we did is we made it native with Google Apps. So for those of you, anyone here know Google Apps at all? Anyone used it? A few of you? Okay, quite a few. So when the teacher creates a site, it creates it in Google Sites. When the teacher creates an online test, it creates it as a Google form. So we wanted to keep kind of the experience within Google Apps, because a lot of teachers get sick of having to use a different system at every school. So we kept it kind of a native experience. And we made 3 levels. We made it so you could sign on as a student, as a teacher, or as a school administrator. Just to tell you a bit about what we did, in case any of you are doing education startups, we kind of focused on schools and universities in the beginning. We weren't really sure what the market was. We were always more interested in schools, and actually it happened that most of our customers were schools. We had some universities in the beginning, but it's almost all primary and secondary schools. We launched the company in April 2011, but really we didn't really go live until 2012, and then we sold the company beginning about March 2013, but the sale didn't really finish until a couple of months ago. We got to about 40,000 users. This is students and teachers, so it was around about 50 schools that we were using the system. And again, we did it as a team of 3. Myself and Ale came up with the idea. Ale did most of the development in Python, and we had another guy who's not here tonight who did the kind of back-end administration. So we did it as a really small team. It was a really interesting project. You know, we were really on the borderline. Do we try to get venture capital funding and make it a really big company, or do we sell it and move on to our next project? You know, because it was giving kind of all of us a side income, but it wasn't really you know, giving us enough money for three of us to stop doing what we were doing. So this is kind of the background. If any of you have any questions, this is my email, drop me a line. I'm happy to give you any advice if I can. And Ale here, anything on the technical side, I'm sure he will help you with as well. Thank you. So ask you questions.
Jedem otázky a nebojte se klidně v češtině. Já to ještě tak dopřeložím.
Well then, do you have any information on what is your past project? How does it look now? I mean,
what do I do now? Or
no. What this project looks like?
Yeah, so the project, basically, they haven't done very much of it, and actually they've hired Ale. Ale is actually working part-time for them now to help expand the project. They were really not sure. They have some other software, which is for children with reading and writing difficulties. They have some predictive text software, and they wanted to get into the kind of general education market, so they were thinking maybe to give this away for free and get some people to use their assisted learning. But it's still going, you know, they have more and more schools now, so it's going. If you click on the link in EduFórum, you can see the new website. And the system we developed, it was in the Google Apps marketplace. You should all have a look at this. There's a lot of free systems in there, school information systems, learning management systems, a lot of free software. But if your school is using Google Apps, have a look in the marketplace. There's some are paid, but most of the things are there are free.
How was it difficult to approach the schools and to connect with them and start to tell them, okay, you can use this? Was it easy or not?
It was difficult in the beginning because we didn't have any customers. We actually, our first customer was Anglo-American University in Malá quite close to here, which is English language university. So once we had one customer, we could have like a reference, and then we got a couple of Czech schools at Čáslav and one in Olomouc. So we did this in Czech language, Czech and Slovak as well in the beginning. But after this, if you develop something, if you put it in the Google Apps marketplace, people can download a trial for free. So we had, anywhere from 10 to 20 schools would download our system just from the Google Marketplace. And then you can see their email address and their contact details. So we got most of our leads from customers from the Google Marketplace.
Okay.
And how was your business model? Was it where the schools paying by user? Or
yeah, well, we kept changing it every 10 minutes basically. We weren't very sure what to do, but the way we ended up with is we were charging like $1 per student per year, and then we made it $2 per user per year. And that's what they're still charging. I think, are they still charging $2? Yeah, I think so. Per user per year. So we did in the beginning, we gave it away for free to some schools in the beginning. And once you give it for free, you have to make it stay free. You can't really start charging them afterwards. But then when we got more customers, we started charging for it.
So how many institutions finally was using your product?
It's about 50 institutions, but there's quite a few more now. They have mainly in America. And that was kind of, I think, part of the problem we had is that we weren't in America. I'm English and we live here, so we really would. If we'd have been in America, we could have done a lot more on the sales, I think, and that was one of the problems we came against.
Maybe the question everybody's asking: how much?
Not as much as you think, I'll tell you. Not enough was the answer. Okay, so last question, anybody?
Is there a similar solution on the market, or are you kind of aware you're the only one?
There's a few. There's a system called a Haiku, there's one called Teacher Dashboard, and there's one called Open Class by Pearson, which is a huge company. But we were always we were a very simple system, but the most integrated with Google Apps. So we never tried to make a complex system. We tried to keep it simple, but keep the kind of user experience in Google. But there's loads of different learning management systems, and Moodle is a great system. It's free and open source as well. Well, it's got some administration issues and things, but it is free. So.